Welcome to The Secret Life of Parkinson's. I'm Jessica Krauser, and I'm here with Brian Baker.
Hello.
And Melissa Carlson from PD Next Steps. And
Hello.
On the phone with us, we have a special guest, Carrie Schaefer.
Hello.
Thanks, Carrie, for joining, and Melissa, thank you for joining. And I'm sorry you're going to see me play around with this, but I think that's quite all right. This is our first Zoom.
We're high tech.
Yeah, I know. We're totally moving on. I'm going to bring this cord over here. Sorry. We're going to keep rolling on along with this. But okay, so I have both Melissa and Carrie on today because we have a very special event to talk about, which is called the 5KforJK. I'll get into all of it, what that all means, but if you can, make a little guess of what the JK stands for. Ta-da.
Just kidding.
Just kidding. Jess Krauser. Shut up, Baker. All right, so we want to talk about the 5K4JK. This is an event that started last year. Mm-hmm. My friend Carrie and Michelle Adams, who wasn't able to be on here today, as well as Melissa, along with all my family and all my friends, they organized a walk in my honor, but for Parkinson's, as a way to show their support. 2019 is the year I was diagnosed. 2021 was the year I would say was one of, if I had any year to have it, the biggest struggle, I think that was it. Medications were just affecting me not the right way, and my emotions were out of whack, as they sometimes can be. Work was really busy, family life, kids, all of that stuff compiled into one, especially with COVID on there as well. And these lovely ladies wanted to show their support in some way. They wanted to help do something. So they organized a walk, which I thought there's no better way to show support for somebody than doing something like this. But the great thing is the walk has now turned into an annual event. We also turned it into a 501c3 nonprofit organization. And like I said, we're getting ready for our second walk, which is October 9th in Powell, Ohio. So I had to bring that all to the forefront. So let's go ahead. Carrie, I wanted to start first with you. If you can tell us, a little bit about yourself and why you wanted to join Michelle and Melissa to start the 5K4JK.
Sure. Thanks, Jess. It's good to be here. I'm Carrie Schaefer. I live here in Dublin, Ohio, and I met Jess, I don't know, a long time ago, probably 10 years now. It goes so fast. When we were working together at Abbott Nutrition. And I knew Jess before Parkinson's, and watched her as a working mom and a good friend, and went through many journeys with her, including being diagnosed with Parkinson's. And so as we watched Jess struggle a little bit in 21 with life and work and everything brought to her, we thought, what a better way to help Jess than to honor her and help her raise funds to find a cure for Parkinson's. And so joined forces with Michelle and Melissa and decided to put on a walk for Jess, and never imagined it would get to where we are today. But it's so awesome to see the community support Jess and PD Next Steps and all those with Parkinson's through this walk and the other events that's starting to spawn off.
So what I'd like to get your perspective on is just over the past year in being a part of now, you're now, I feel like, a part of our community. Melissa's pretty much, she's already fully ingrained in Parkinson's community, but what are some of the things that you have learned about the community, and what is something that you think, PD patients or caregivers should know when it comes to the Parkinson's community and fundraising in general?
Yeah, I think the first thing I learned from Melissa is keep moving. Right?
Yes, Carrie.
And seeing all the awesome things that she is doing for patients at her gym to keep them moving and inspired. I think the second thing is, supporting one another. Jess always tells the story, Melissa tells the story about how they met each other, right? And it was through PD Next Steps and that exercise. And it was awesome to see you, Jess, find that community, find a place to go every day to connect with folks and, do things to help yourself. And the third thing I think in terms of fundraising is, what we've seen is, as I started inviting friends and coworkers to the event, everybody's affected by somebody with a disease, and has a passion for helping. And, I met a lot of friends, where I work, when I invited them along, I said, oh, my father has it, my mom has it, my mother-in-law actually has Parkinson's. And so I think, in terms of fundraising and community, I think everybody wants to step in and help. And they're all looking for ways to do that. And so I'm excited that we have the 5K to rally around and find ways to fundraise for a cure.
Great. And let's just go on by saying, just because it says JK, it's not all about me, Baker.
I didn't say anything about
You said something earlier. No, this
that.
truly,
That was not referenced to you at all.
No, it wasn't to you. It was pre-podcast. What do I want to say? Filming. But no, this is really an event for our entire Parkinson's community of getting everybody together, and to really talk and learn and see other people that are dealing with this disease. So, Melissa, like I said, it didn't probably take a lot for you to be invested in this 5K for JK, because you're fully invested in the Parkinson's community. But what did you learn about, like, after going through this fundraising experience, about people, generosity, they're willing to support?
Well, it was just such a unique opportunity, because for me to be around Carrie and Michelle, who have these brains, this brilliance about them, that I was just, first of all, so thank you, Carrie and Michelle, who's not with us, but you guys have taught me so much over this past year, and even planning. And it's amazing. The sky's the limit. And we learned that actually when we were in New York too. We're just on the cutting edge. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I keep saying exciting, but it is. It's just like, it's overwhelming sometimes, the generosity of people. And again, to reiterate what Carrie said about how everybody knows somebody with a disease, mm-hmm. and then you bring in Parkinson's. And I think too, that the thing that has been really awesome this year is for you being so vulnerable and coming out and just embracing this, because a lot of people are like, I never knew someone could be as young as Jess, mm-hmm. and have Parkinson's. Mm-hmm. So it is like blossomed into this whole awareness thing that I never even imagined. So that part's awesome.
Brian, given the fact that you were, you're part of our Parkinson's community, but
I am.
Yeah, I know. Aren't you excited? But you weren't necessarily, you weren't part of the overall planning. You were kind of the receiver, I would say, hopefully. What did you think, and what do you think other people thought from our Parkinson's group that, what this was? Like, what did it mean for you?
So I think it was much different than what things we've seen in the past. This event was much more family oriented. So we had a lot of young kids out there walking, Ben and Kate and their friends, and it's very much family oriented versus a traditional maybe like 5K that you think of when you think of like a 5K run. Mm-hmm. So that was nice. There was a lot of things for the kids to do, and the kids looked like they were having fun. So there's that.
Did you like that we walked just around a track?
I did, because I didn't want to have to walk a 5K.
And there it is.
Yeah, right. But Melissa, did you learn or hear anything from others, at the gym, what their thoughts were on it? Like, again, not for just this specific event, but mm-hmm. what it means when people, like their family and friends, started getting involved and doing fundraising. Like, how did that make them feel, I guess?
Well, I think it just brought a lot of attention, and it made them feel validated, mm-hmm. It's like finally someone gets it. And, it's so nice to have this community that is rallying around this cause. So, nothing but great things to say. And as far as walking around the track, I thought that was awesome, because you could see people and, clap with you, cheer people on, and we could hear the music, and
don't forget the cowbells.
Don't forget the cowbells. The cowbells.
We can forget the cowbells this year.
Really enjoyed.
Everybody was thanked me outside for the cowbells. I was like, I'm sorry.
Thanked you.
Yeah.
So year one went well.
Yeah.
And so what changes have you guys learned to make, or what are the goals for this year?
Yeah. So last year, it was our inaugural year, and we had a 5K walk around the track at Liberty Middle School. As you mentioned, Brian, lots of great things for families and kids, balloon guys, and great food and auction, great music and audio and video by Steve. Well, for Steve.
Yeah.
And so I think it was really awesome. What did we raise, just
86,000 for the Fox Foundation and around 7,000 for local.
I think, I don't think we even imagined that. I think at one point we had a goal of 25, then it became 50.
Every time Michelle kept coming out, she's like, "We can hit 50." I'm like, "Hold on, like slow down." Yeah. And we did.
So I don't think we ever in our wildest dreams thought we would raise that type of money. And so that was super exciting. And I think got everybody super energized. Jess, how'd you feel about it? Like, at the end of last year, when we started and we finished, what did you think?
I mean, first, I still remember when you guys first told me, then you surprised me with this walk. I just thought we were gonna have our t-shirts as a team walking on with a different, with an organization that already had a walk going on. So learning that this was a full event just, for myself and our Parkinson's community that we get to create, I was just blown away. And you guys took care of everything. Cause like I said, that was the year I started working part-time. I took time off of work, and it had nothing to do with the 5K. And so I was trying to get myself like organized in that fashion. So when it came time for the walk itself, I was blown away at the family and friends that came to support. I had friends come in from all over, and my family members, just driving down for the day from Youngstown, which I know doesn't seem that far. It's only 3 hours, but everybody has kids and they have things to do, but just showing their support in that way, knowing that, they're here for me. And I think seeing the community that we already have here in Columbus, seeing their family come out and support them. And like Melissa said, I had a lot of them come up to me and just say, "Thank you for being the voice," which is what, I feel like Michelle and you really talked about, is this was a nice option for giving me a platform. Because I told Brian a lot of times I love to talk.
You do love
so
to talk.
podcast is perfect for me. But in all seriousness, it gives me a platform to share different things that people otherwise may not have known. Or again, they feel so alone with things that now they're like, "Oh, these people are like me. They're similar. They understand." So it has been, it's been absolutely amazing. I never thought I would be, we would be doing something like this, especially now starting a nonprofit. So that's been amazing.
Just the other thing I'd say that I think this opened up is we had someone from the Fox Foundation there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And that was amazing, right? They're, connecting with the Fox Foundation, I think, has opened up so many doors. And talk a little bit about maybe how it made connections to other people throughout the country with Parkinson's doing similar things.
Yeah, so the Fox Foundation was huge for myself and for others, but even Melissa, I know you had a lot of great connection with the Fox Foundation as it relates to meeting other people, right. That are in your situation of having a gym and being there for Parkinson's patients. But I've pushed, now that I had their ear, the Fox Foundation, I pushed them to say, let me be a voice, let me be an advocate. I'm an open book, And so they've asked me to do a couple of things, and even just a simple Instagram post that I did in April has reached so many people that I had other women with young onset contact me through Facebook, and now we had a group of, it was just 2 of us, then it's now out to 10 or 11 of us, and that was just since April. And this all comes from, Brian was the only one I knew with young onset at the time, but having a woman makes with Parkinson's is still, it's different. So it is different. So
So
that
you no longer need me?
Shut up. Having having other women that to reach out to talk about kids or, womanly issues or just things that you just don't want to bring up in front of men. It makes a world of a difference. Going to the Team Fox, what was it called? The MVP,
awards,
the MVP
awards.
event that they have every year, and getting to meet others that fundraise like us and learning about the research that they're funding and learning about all the different things that they're getting into was awesome. And to be honest, that's kind of where the podcast came in. I mean, Brian and I talked about the podcast 2 years ago because we would always banter back and forth during exercise class, and Melissa said you should have a radio show. So we thought that would be fun. But in all seriousness, we really pushed it because we had so many people talking and we wanted to continue those conversations and really leverage that so people can learn more throughout their journey. So, Brian, you asked what our goals are for this year. Carrie, I'm going with $100,000. What do you think?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think that's minimum.
And 500 participants. Last year we had 400 participants, and it was ugly weather, but it's going to be on a great weekend this year. October 9th on a Sunday in Powell, Ohio.
Guaranteed.
And I know we have a lot of listeners outside of Ohio, but you can still, participate just by donating. And again, if you're local, we will also support our local Parkinson's community, but you can also directly support the Michael J. Fox Foundation. We have that option there as well if you want to give directly to research, because it's not just benefiting us right now, but benefiting future generations. So, Carrie, or Melissa, any last parting words?
Let's go. Let's get moving toward this 5K.
All right, so in our last 30 seconds, I'll leave you with this. Caregivers, family, friends, coworkers, they all want to help in some way. But a lot of times we don't know what to say. So instead of just turning them away, let them know that they can support you by doing things like donating to the Fox Foundation for Parkinson's research, or registering for a Team Fox event in your area, or participating in what we've talked about before, which is the PPMI study. If we truly want to find a cure for ourselves, or at least the next generation, we need everyone's support. So thank you so much to Michelle, Carrie, Melissa, along with my husband and kids and all the family and friends for showing your support in a way that benefits not just me, but the entire community of Parkinson's. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks, Carrie, for joining us.